We're having a really good discussion at the moment on BookTube, and the latest really good iteration of this is Brian over at Bookish and his video um, reading and reviewing as a straight white cisgendered man, and his conversation this conversation kind of having been sparked off, this iteration of it being sparked off by gunpowder fiction plot, gunpowder gunpowder fiction and plot. I forget the thing right. And a discussion they had with I think it's Biblia Obscura and their partner um, about the issue, and him trying to kind of put in his ideas on the subject of, when you're reviewing a book, um, how what you bring to it, your own biases, and trying to be aware of that when you're reading from other points of view, other cultures, other gender, other sexualities. There's so many different things in the world, and you know, sort of the importance of trying to be honest of, what in a book is could be seen as more objective things, like, how well the book is put together, on a sentence by sentence thing, scene by scene, your um, believability, or the fullness of characters, but also being aware that, maybe you look at a character and you think, wow, that doesn't seem to strike me as correct as a white straight guy. Like, that doesn't seem realistic. Um, and that might being a blind spot on your point of view. Um, and the kind of importance of trying to be honest about that, trying to be critical about that. And, I think it's all stuff that I can agree with. Uh, you know, you try you when you're see as a reader, as a guy who reacts to books. But I make no I'm not an expert. I'm not somebody who reviews books. I'm not somebody who's made a study of like all the objective kind of measurements that you could make on a book. Um, I've got a I know on a I know on a gut level the first way a book is going to get me in is the emotional, how it grips me. That initial reaction is going to really power how I then kind of go back and go, well, why does it do that to me? Um, I try and make a point, if I have a negative reaction to a book, to kind of examine that, question that. And a lot of times, if it's a negative reaction, um, it could be objective stuff like I just couldn't make sense of what the hell was going on in the book. Like, it seemed like it wasn't presented well. Um, but then you can kind of interrogate, was that intentional? Is there a strategy there that the author is trying to do? Is the author trying to evoke something there? And as you go deeper into that, get a get a better appreciation of a book, or you can get a worse appreciation of a book. Um, but I was thinking about this in you know of a Canadian context of, we've had a thing happened multiple times in Canadian lit, and it happens in the States as well, of this idea of people who pretend to be of a group. Um, I think the oldest example is probably Grey Owl, who turned out to be, I think he ended up to be a Scottish guy, but he put himself forward, and he was a writer, he's an environmentalist, and he put himself forward as basically kind of a stereotypical native person, and use that persona to advocate for the environment and write books and make money and get status, and was revered for it, almost right up until his death. But we've had multiple examples of that in recent events in Canada, where people have put themselves forward as natives, and we've really embraced them. Publishing, filmmaking, places where we've rushed as a as a as the wider audience, we've rushed to give these people attention and laudits and really responded to their work. And when it's come out that they've been misrepresenting themselves, uh, that's basically been it. They are gone. They are expunged from the conversation for the most part, and that's only happened recently. That that actual reaction has happened. Um, you know, so I guess my question with that is, and the part of that is, it's like people feel a lot of anger from that, uh, and understandably, the people in these communities who go, hi, this guy who claims he's like representing our community, we don't know who the hell he is. What the fuck is going on? We have all these writers who actually are, of our community who are writing books. Why aren't you paying attention to them? Wider Canadian society. What the hell? And wider Canadian society, the readers there have also felt anger, and I can't help but wonder, yes, we have been lied to as well, but I can't help but wonder if a part of that is slightly kind of just embarrassment that we've been taken in, that we've been told, oh, this guy or this woman is a representative of this community, and so we've decided we've gone great, and we've read their book, and we really respond to it, and it's like, wow, this is finally something that helps me understand, what this kind of community is a part of. Sorry, I'm helping a little little Havanese get loose. Um, we've we've responded that way, and then we find out, no, it was just another person in our own culture who knows how to write, who has had all the advantages, all the kind of is firmly ensconced in our culture, in the dominant kind of white, you know, culture, who's basically just parroting back what we want to hear, and we've responded to it. We've given this guy awards. We've given people tons of money to produce shows. People who've there's a part of me that goes like, oh, David over at the Poptimist was saying, like, what is it about it that we keep on giving people like this success, that we give them attention, we give them money, we give them giant contracts. Like, why is it? And I can't help but thinking, in one way, I'm saying I want to try and be mindful of my prejudices, my biases, but it's like, perhaps maybe you should also just sort of have to make the admission to yourself that, no, you're so deep inside of it that that people, for whatever reason, who put on the mantle and then parrot back basically what you want to hear as a white person, are going to be a success, because we can't get out of it. And that's maybe a deeply pessimistic thing to say, that, like, we're trapped inside our heads, we're trapped inside our cultures and our experiences, and yet I think that the whole act of reading is that you're trying to somehow transcend, and we're always trying to transcend in a meaningful way where we are, of our only, just we're this single speck in existence, but we want to kind of know more than just that. But I think I think, if anything, it just should be acknowledged about exactly how difficult that is. How wrong I'm going to be in my reading. I think that's the thing that I comes down to, is like, I've got this channel and I've talked about a lot of books, and I think I have to be comfortable with the fact that I've been really, really wrong a lot of the time. That I mean, hopefully I've been honest in that, like, all I'm saying when I talk about a book is I'm saying that this is what I think of a book from my experience, from my place in the world, from the books I've read before, um, from um, from who I am as a person up to this point of reading this book. Um, and I think that does have value, both for me and hopefully people watching. I hope, if you get to know me over time, sometimes, you get to know someone over time, you can go, okay, he liked that, but he liked that for this and this reason. So kind of gives me hints on how I'm going to feel about it. And it might not be the same, um, you know, and that isn't to put down professional reviewers, someone like Steve Donahue, who, I think quite rightly takes umbrage at the fact that everything's subjective, la la la. It's all just your opinion, man. It's like I can see why, he is somebody who has amassed a great body of knowledge, of experience, and does know kind of the mechanics, the sort of that level of things, and he also has a wide breadth of knowledge of multiple authors working in a kind of in one field or another, and I really respect him for that, and that's why he's the professional reviewer, and I'm just some bozo who's only read, like, maybe two or 3,000 books, and only remembers about 10 of them off the top of his head. So, you know, uh, that's not to put down Steve Donahue. But that's also to try and go, I'm myself as a reader, as a incredibly casual and amateur reviewer. It's like, I'm going to be wrong. And I hope, uh, if anything, uh, I can also, on BookTube, get different opinions on books. I don't listen to reviews before. I don't listen to other people's reviews of books before I make a review, because I want to get my own honest reaction and my own wrongness down. Um, but I do try and make a practice of going and finding multiple different people's takes on books and find, wow, how much I've missed, which further enriches my reading. And I might not agree with them all, and some of them just like, wow, I was so wrong. And I'm not going to take down my review because I was wrong. I think there's a value in being wrong. Um, I've said that before. Um, but yeah, I think this is, as always with me, this is just my very kind of personal, little egocentric view of an issue, which you know isn't a problem. Well, the source of the problem is the dominant majority culture looking at and consuming people from different viewpoints, and not being able to uh, free themselves from that. So yeah, that's my ramble yet again. So more videos later. Say bye. Okay.